short dog walk in Shillington, and it's pretty quiet. As you can see, it's quite rural, right out in the countryside. Got the local church. Might have been in there once, not sure. Coming into the churchyard now, which, to be honest, to all intents and purposes, is the dead centre of the village. Not sure if we're going to walk on any further. Dog stopped. I'll pick up with another recording when we get a bit further on. Continuing the video, this is the opposite side of the churchyard, looking out in a Luton stroke Dunstable sort of direction, out towards what I believe are referred to as Barton Hills. Certainly hilly. Still on the dog walk, you can see the dog in the bottom of the picture. The greens and browns of the area only been broken up by the red dog bin. Always something to spoil the view, isn't there? Come, Midge. Dog stopped. Look back into the churchyard. It's very, very old. Very, very rural. Yeah, only 7 miles from a major town. Long since converted into residential. Dog's walking rather slow this morning, probably because I've got quite a few things to do today, so she knows. Heading off down towards the main road. Oh, wasn't people coming the other way. Heading off down what's referred to within family members as slippery slope, due to someone slipping on their backside at some point when it was wet. Still waiting for the dog. Come, Midge. Yeah, so it takes us down to the main road, further down the village. Oh, she stopped again. She stops every few yards, this dog. Very difficult to get to walk. There she goes. Jumping back into the video again, and waiting for the dog again. Still on the same path. Fields here where people tend to keep horses. Normally the dog would walk a little bit quicker, but she does know I'm in a hurry today, so that's why she's going so slow. But you love them, really. There she goes. And she's stopping again. I think this is a walk she quite likes, but she doesn't get it very often nowadays, sadly. We're almost down to the main road, which will take us to the centre of the village. Not the dead centre, we've already been there. Coming up to the end of the slope now. Got quite a posh house coming up round there. I believe it was originally the vicarage, or it's the old vicarage, something like that. And the grounds are sometimes used for wedding receptions and that sort of thing. We're now almost down to the main road. Not quite sure which this bit of the main road is called. Near the centre of the village it's known as the high road. Not sure what it's known as down this end. We're almost to the end of the road. End of the path rather. Over a bridge. When it's very, very wet, there's not much water down there now, but when we have heavy rain that can fill almost to the top. So we're now looking down the main road towards the Hitchin direction, which is it's quite pleasant, and as you can see it's still very rural. We're heading down towards the village. We're now walking into the centre of the village. Crown pub on the left. That's the only pub in the village now. Apparently many years ago there was loads. When I came to this village there was at least two. Now it's just the one. Obviously I'm only visiting now as I no longer live here, but it's still quite nice to have a walk around and see where I used to live. And I'm taking Midge for a walk at the same time, which is quite nice. So we come around the bend, we'll be looking down into the village itself. It's got a small post office. Now you can see through the post office vans, there's the local post office and local shop. In terms of what's in the village, one pub, post office come local shop, car accident repair centre which sells the odd car as well, and a garage, very expensive, old fashioned service. And as we get a little bit further down, which you can't see yet, it's actually a car dealer. Quite a strange combination for the area. Got houses, quite modern build, but old style. Walking down through the village, got the village hall. As we walk down through the village, got stopped again. And there's a bit more to the village. It heads off out the side, climbs up past another shop and heads out towards Gravenhurst. At the moment I'm in the village centre. Now we're heading down, starting to walk out of the village. Still quite a distance before you're actually out of it. There's a lot more to it than what's seen on this video. But this is the main centre. Now heading past the local mechanic, Dave, and the local car dealer. In the main, that's pretty much all there is to Shillington. People are okay. Been to better places, been to worse. Around this area it's quite nice, it's one of the quiet places. Don't sort of see much in the way of trouble. Dog stopped again, which is sort of public footpath really. Bit of almost like a dirt track road up to a few houses, and it becomes a footpath. Come on, Midge. That wraps us back round to Hillfoot Road where we started out. As you can see, still very rural, and it's also fairly flat, not much in the way of hills. Which you either like or don't like. It's a bit like Marmite. You either love hills or hate them. Farmers' fields. Then in the distance you can see floodlights. And those are on the sports field, where they're able to play matches after dark. So although it's a village, it has a small number of facilities. None of which I've ever used when I lived here, but they're available for those that want them. There's also a village school which can't be seen from here, which is over by the sports field and the floodlights in fact. Well, this is Hillfoot Road, almost at the end of the walk. Had taken me for quite a good walk. Shillington's a fairly typical English village, so it's not far from a major town. Though it's not a major town, you tend to want to frequent it very often. But we're almost back. It's been quite a pleasant walk. A little bit cold, but then we are still talking January. In fact, late January. There we go. And just about back to Midge's home. She knows she's out the path. The gate's kind of superfluous as there's no hitch.